Good evening, America. You're about to meet me, Sergeant Dave, host of the Remember the Fallen show. After having survived a rollover accident avoiding a landmine in a troop transport vehicle, military acronym LMTV, in the Parwan province in Afghanistan in 2004, I emerged and returned to the United States with an even more compelling tale of perseverance as I navigate the rapids of the troubled VA system. I gain new perspective with the fever of enthusiasm to all patriots across the windswept fields of America. This is Sergeant Dave at the Never Forgotten Memorial Studio in beautiful Seminole County, USA, on the Oviedo Winter Springs line, where you're about to listen to the Remember the Fallen show with me, Sergeant Dave, where you'll be listening to my guests, jarheads, squids, wingnuts. We also call them penguins, and I'll tell you more about that. Ground pounders, and an occasional coastie. Maybe not. But most of all, I will be advocating to patriots that get a lump in their throat when they hear the national anthem being played at a ball game. You see, one of us can be run off, two of us can be disregarded, but it shows audience. Together, we are a movement. So I'm not live at Westgate Villas just recently on Saturday, May 11th. Just had an incredible turnout. 1,500 families stayed at Westgate Villas for free. Had an incredible concert with Lee Greenwood that you heard in the background of my introduction. Gary Sanise, an incredible icon, patriot icon, unbelievable what he's doing for the USO, the veteran community. I take my hat off for Gary. He did an incredible show, so I'm proud to be a part of that event. Also, Ron Desantis, our governor, who is still in the Navy, okay? So he's a JAG officer. Yeah, he's a weekend warrior, but he's an incredible man as well. And you'll be able to hear him later on. And, of course, David Siegel, the timeshare mogul, what he did for that day, an incredible venue. I've never seen anything like it. It was the size of a football field. The grass was a plush green. It was a gorgeous soft grass. The stage was beautiful. They had military vehicles. They actually had a 50 cal simulation. You could hear it pounding away, bouncing off the buildings before the show even started. But the audience was all veterans, armed forces, people that support our veterans. It was a great day to salute our veterans. So we're going to hear a little bit more about the introduction, but I just want to take my hat off to David Siegel, the timeshare mogul. He did just a great job. Every year he puts this out, and I just was elated at this event. I've never seen a venue so close to home and so many people enjoying their patriotism and just taking their hats off, saluting our veterans, our armed forces, for a great time because it's Military Appreciation Month. So just keep that in mind. Wear your red on Fridays. Put your flags out for this whole month. We appreciate what you do to show awareness for our Military Appreciation Month. So let's talk about Gary Sinise. He's just an incredible patriot. He's done so much for the community. So Gary Sinise, everybody knows him as Lieutenant Dan in the movie Forrest Gump, right? He played an incredible role, and what he's done for our military in the past. So I'm just going to go a little bio on Lieutenant Dan. We call him Gary Sinise, but what he's done for us is just incredible. I just think he's like the new Bob Hope in the veteran community, and I just appreciate all his work he's done. So let's talk a little bit about Gary. 1982, Sinise's career began to take off when he directed and starred in Steppenwolf's production of True West in 1983. He earned an Obie Award for his direction, and a year later appeared with John Malkovich in the PBS American Playhouse production of the play in 1908. Sinise directed Miles from Home, a film starring Richard Gere about two brothers fight against the foreclosure of their family farm. Sinise collaborated with fellow actor Tom Hanks 3 times, so them two get along because they're both great actors. And he included, of course, Forrest Gump, which is really famous in the veteran community, and Apollo 13 and The Green Mile. Other noteworthy films in which Sinise has appeared include Of Mice and Men, which he directed, Reindeer Games, I didn't know he was doing that, Reindeer Games, Snake Eyes, Ransom, and Mission to Mars. The Stand, and Imposter. He narrated the audiobooks for John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie, and in 2004 he began his first regular television series in the crime drama CSI in New York, in which he plays Detective Matt Taylor. He was credited as a producer from season 2 onwards and wrote the storyline of an episode. Several episodes have followed Sanise to demonstrate his musical prowess, including a season 2 episode where Matt Taylor plays the bass guitar in a jazz club with musicians Kimmo and Carol Williams and Danny Gottlieb. Members of the Lieutenant Band, right? Lieutenant Dan Band, with Sanise and Kimmo Williams co-founded in 2003. The band is named for Sanise's character in Forrest Gump. What a great band. We got to hear them live. I wish I could. I didn't get audio of them live for the event, but I got some other great stuff for you guys to hear. Apart from his television and movie work, Sanise is the host in the video for the Epcot ride, Mission Space, at Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida, and a model for Bomb and Mercia watches. I didn't know that. He co-founded Operation Iraqi Children. Sanise said, Iraq is in the news every day and most of it is bad, but there are some positive stories in how our soldiers are rebuilding schools and helping kids is one of them. Sanise was the narrator for the Discovery Channel's miniseries When We Left Earth in 2008. He's also awarded the Presidential Citizen Medal by George W. Bush for work he did supporting the U.S. military and humanitarian work supporting Iraqi children. He narrated Army and Army Reserve, Army Strong recruitment ads in late 2008. He also is the national spokesperson for the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial. How he got involved so passionate in the military and the armed forces was the Disabled American Veterans invited him to do a conference at one of their conventions, and he was like the master of ceremonies, and they really honored him for the role he played in Lieutenant Dan, where he gets blown up, he loses his legs in battle in Vietnam, and Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, he's the one that carries him like 2 miles in the jungles, avoiding bullets and everything like that. I'm sure he should have got the Medal of Honor, Forrest Gump, for all that, what he did for so many in that movie. And Lieutenant Dan comes back to the streets of New York and just a survivor, no legs, with a wheelchair, panning for money. So you got to see the movie. I'm sure you've seen it. He played a great role for that movie, and he won an award for that one as well. And I'm going to read more about that award. So Sanise, November 2009, narrated the highly acclaimed World War II in HD on the History Channel. And in 2002, he narrated the World War II documentary Missions That Changed the War on the Military Channel as well. So they like him. He started the Cadillac commercial, starting with the 2002 season's best commercial, and it has been with the Breakthrough campaign since it started in 2002. He's also Super Bowl. I mean, the guy's done so much. So on April 17th, he got his payback. In 2017, Sanise received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his work in the television industry. And it tells you where it's located at, 664 Hollywood Boulevard. So next time you're on Hollywood Boulevard, go to 6664 Hollywood Boulevard. And October 30th, 2017, Sanise was also selected as Grand Marshal of the Pasadena Tournament Roses Parade on January 4th, 2018. But he's really known as a supporter of various veteran organizations, both personally and through the Lieutenant Dan Band that played. He really rocked the house that night, May 11th, at Westgate Villas in Orlando, Florida. Actually, it's in Kissimmee. He frequently performs on USO tours at military bases around the world, just shows up with his band, and volunteered for the National Vietnam Veterans Art Museum, now called the National Veterans Art Museum, on June 8th. And he's just done some great things. He's also advisory council for Hope for the Warriors, a national nonprofit dedicated to provide a full cycle of non-medical care to combat wounded service members, their families, and families of the fallen from each military branch. This guy was honored at the United States Navy Memorial as the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. He was awarded, was made an honorary U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer for his efforts in helping veterans. Also, on August 29, 2013, he was named an honorary Marine by the Commandant of the Marine Corps. And he's just a great guy. Everybody loves him. Every base. So, of course, the DAV, and put him on this platform, and he just was so honored. It just took off from there, the heart and passion. So you got to hear his Brian Kilmeade interview that he did. Brian just loves the guy like everyone else, and he did 2 interviews with Gary Sinise. And because his role, what he does for veterans, he just makes us so feel, for our sacrifices that we did so much. And this guy does not forget of the sacrifices our militaries have done for our freedom. Okay, right now we're going to take just a short little break. So to support our sponsors, so for all you fit veterans in the audience, I need you to get down and give me 22 everyday push-ups for the veterans that will die of suicide tomorrow.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. For J.D. Power more information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it? I'll take a sports announcer at home. Yeah? How do we just know?
My wife picks up the new signature wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite. Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only. Participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
Now that like this. When I get a stand up, then I shout, tip me over and
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Okay, we're back live at the Never Forgotten Memorial Studio in beautiful Seminole County, USA, right on the Oviedo Winter Springs line. So right now, I need everybody to stand up in the audience. And for you veterans, you can salute, of course. So we're going to go ahead and play the introduction of the event that was on May 11th. All right, could you hear my howl in the background in the audience, right? So next is I'm gonna show you the introduction of the whole event by David Siegel. And I used to work for David back in 1996, and had a great time at the Westgate Lakes, and I worked the villas a little bit too, so I enjoyed working for David Siegel. And so the next thing we're going to hear him is he's going to introduce Ron Desantis. So this is David Siegel, the timeshare mogul. Here he is. He's a great patriot. Mr. Siegel.
This many people since last year. Unbelievable. Y'all having a good time? How about you in the back there in the nosebleed? All right, good. Glad we got these big screens up. This is not a time for speeches. This is a time to introduce somebody very special. I'm happy that tonight we have our great governor and native Floridian, Ron Desantis, here. As a naval officer, he understands the sacrifices military families make and how hard they work. While attending Harvard's law school, he earned a commission in the U.S. Navy as a JAG officer. His military decorations include the Bronze Star Medal for meritorious service and the Iraq Campaign Medal. A true military supporter, he still serves in the U.S. Navy Reserve and has fought for relevant legislation. And he hit the ground running in a number of ways as governor. After his first legislative session, Republicans and Democrats still both really like him. And in this day and age, that's rare. It says a lot about who he is. And is that a great thing for Florida and our country? Now, please welcome my good friend, Governor Ron DeSantis. Oh, and this is my wife, Jackie. I did introduce her. She's the power behind the throne. Well, thank you, David, and welcome to Central Florida, everybody. We're happy to have you. I'm going to just say a couple things, but before I do, I think it would be appropriate to just have a moment of silence for those who couldn't be with us today, those who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our country. So if you could do that, thank you. Thank you very much. In Florida, I want Florida to be the most military-friendly state in the country. And the reason is because people that serve in our military, when they sign their name and put on the uniform, they're writing a check payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including their life. You don't know where the service is going to take you. You don't know what you're going to be called upon to do, but you are being willing to put the country over your own well-being. That's a noble calling. It's something that's essential to protecting and preserving our freedoms here in the United States. And so in Florida, we cherish our active duty members, our installations throughout the state, whether it's Northwest Florida, Northeast Florida, Tampa area, whether it's on the East Coast of Florida, you name it, we're glad to have the military here. I'm working with the president now to try to get him to move another combatant command to Florida, the Space Combatant Command for Space Force. And we have an initiative called Forward March where we're knocking out a number of things to help active duty.
Yeah, that's Ron DeSantis, our great governor. He's starting off great, doing some great things right now. So very, very proud of him as our governor. And just go ahead and just give us, if you need to go use the restroom, we're going to take just a couple more commercials. We got to support the sponsors. So just hold in there.
Dad, it's been taking me long. This is fine.
I just wanted to talk to you about protecting yourself.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, maybe you're posting dance vids at a party.
Dance vids?
Yeah, the dance vids. And people around you are using cable internet. You can always call me or your mom, and we'll come get you. No questions asked.
Dad, I know to use internet with AT&T Fiber.
You know, it's just the people with the internet. They could have the upload speeds of internet with AT&T Fiber, and they choose not to. They're not thinking, son.
Dad, I'll be okay.
Hey, good talk, right? All right, you're up, big guy.
Don't get mixed up with cable internet. Switch to AT&T Fiber. Sign up at att.com/fiber300 and get faster upload speeds of up to 300 megabits per second for $40 a month for 12 months. Limited availability. May not be in your area. Check eligibility at att.com/fiber300. Ends 5/31/19. New residential customers in select markets only. Requires 12-month agreement. Includes internet 300 with monthly broadband qualified minimum $19 per month service on one bill. Early termination taxes, other charges, and restrictions apply. Compares upload speeds for internet 300 of up to 300 megabits per second from the 35 for Comcast and Optus Spectrum. Speeds vary, not guaranteed.
USA Radio News with Robin Walensky.
I'll meet with him directly, because I'll be meeting with President Xi of China.
President Trump there announcing he will meet with the president of China next month in Osaka, Japan. Still the stock market deep in the red because of the tariffs imposed. The Dow dropping a whopping 617 points to close at 25,324. That's the biggest single-day loss since January. The Nasdaq down almost 270 points. The S&P 500 off 69 points.
We had a deal with China. It was 95% there. And then my representatives, as you know, Secretary Mnuchin and Bob Lighthizer, Ambassador Lighthizer, they went to China and they were told the things that were fully agreed to, we're not going to get anymore. They're going to unagree to them. That's not acceptable. I said, good, that's fine. Put on the tariffs.
You're listening to USA Radio News. Former President Jimmy Carter, who is 94, recovering from surgery after falling and breaking his hip at his home in Plains, Georgia. Carter was on his way to a turkey hunt. This fall, the latest health scare for Carter, who was diagnosed with melanoma that spread to his brain and liver back in 2015. Doris Day, one of Hollywood's most popular stars in the 50s and 60s, has died. She was 97 years old. A funeral service and a 12-mile procession bringing traffic on I-10 to a standstill as hundreds of police officers from across the country attend the service for Biloxi police officer Robert McKeithen. He was ambushed and shot to death in front of Biloxi police headquarters by a 19-year-old man, Darian Tawan Atkinson. He's under arrest and charged with murder. This is USA Radio News. To D.C. now, where the Supreme Court rules in a large antitrust case. USA Radio's Chris Barnes reports from Washington.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruling against Apple in the case. It says iPhone users can sue Apple for alleged monopolization. Plaintiffs arguing that Apple's monopoly over the company's App Store has led to inflated app prices across the board. That ruling allows a class action lawsuit against Apple to move forward. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
The Pentagon apparently shifting more money to help secure our southern border with Mexico. USA Radio's Tim Berg explains.
Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan visited the border town of McAllen, Texas over the weekend, and he says the Pentagon is going to do what they need to do to help keep our border between the United States and Mexico safe. Brandon Judd, president of the National Border Patrol Council, says the only reason the Pentagon has to step in is because
Congress isn't doing their job. The president is left to use his authorities to actually look at ways that he can solve a crisis. If Congress would actually step up, we wouldn't need the Department of Defense, but because they're not stepping up, the president has to step in and he has to solve this problem on his own. Remember, you don't accept nominations for political appointees to be popular. You accept nomination to be a political appointee to do your job, and we have to have DHS do that.
Judd was speaking there on Fox News.
For USA Radio News, I'm Robin Walensky.
Today at Whataburger, we're picking the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich.
Yeah, for it, and it's back.
We got 3 chicken strips, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese, topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, all between a toasted bun.
Chicken sandwich on its own is good. Chicken sandwich with buffalo sauce is fantastic. It really wakes up the chicken sandwich.
It's crunchy and it's spicy and it's full. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich. That's back, and it's only here for a limited time.
All right. We're getting 0 Dark 30 for the show. But I do want to mention that it is Military Appreciation Month, so you can go out there and buy that American-made, American flag, not at Walmart, okay? You want to go to a authentic made in America American flag and put it out there for Military Appreciation. And don't forget, May 18th is Armed Forces Day, and you can celebrate by just going to a patriotic restaurant and raising a glass and salute our veterans and salute our armed forces for all the hard work to give us our freedom that we enjoy today. So I'm just about ready to go into rack ops mode. But before I do that, one last promo. Go to Sergeant Dave at KLRNRadio.com. Once again, SGTDAV at KLRNRadio.com for any suggestions you might have for the show. Maybe you know of a veteran that would be a great hoorah for the show. Email me again at sergeantdave at KLRNradio.com, or you can go to my Facebook page and like the page at Remember the Fallen, all one word on Facebook. And you also can tweet me at my Twitter handle at Heroic Memorials. Or if you're not into that Twitter bird thing, you can go to my website at neverforgottenmemorials.org and mark your calendar on your phone calendar, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at KLRNradio.com. And you know we're on iHeartRadio.com. Just look up Remember the Fallen Show and tap whatever show is running, and that will be me. Fall out until all the troops come home. Pop, smoke, out.